Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to your ISE Equity Index Outlook for June 29th, 2009. This is Patrick Ceresna. First off here, we want to take a look at the S&P 500 using the Spider Exchange Traded Fund symbol SPY. And more or less our trade range bound scenario that we've been painting over the last couple of weeks is certainly playing out in the textbook fashion. We just fell short of the 88 level on the downside, but more or less we're bouncing back and forth in these zones. This 92.95 is going to be a formidable overhead resistance. Don't anticipate the markets to break up out of this range anytime soon, but it will be critical to see how the market plays it out this week, because if for whatever reason we are able to have some significant bullish follow through that breaks above the 95 area on the upside, we have to revisit the idea that we may see the 1,000 level this summer, but more than likely we will reject along this level and maintain this range bound market. We don't anticipate a market crash or any sort of major sell-off to come in until the latter part of the summer if it does, so we'll watch this and see how this plays out. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE US Regional Banks Index, which is the symbol JLO, and our focal points have in fact contained this price action very well here. We continue to see the regional banks bouncing along that 15-16 support lines along the bottom. Realistically here, you can see that there's very little to no follow through on the upside while the broader markets are bouncing. We don't anticipate there to be any leadership in this group. If the broader market does move its way back up to the top end of ranges, we might see even $17, $18 on this index, but it is relatively weak compared to the broader indices, so I wouldn't be looking for too many upside targets on this one. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Syndex, which is the symbol SIN. This is an index of all the casino, tobacco, and distiller companies, and more or less this was huge leadership here from March, April, May. Many ways those sectors were leading everything higher, and as that did, the last few months has really seen some significant distribution. We had something that looks like a double top up along that 95 to 100 focal point, and the selling has been intense, but it has been holding an important support level in this 83 to 86 zone, and if in fact this acts as support, we can't rule out still one more rally. But if this 83-86 zone does give out and we have a move all the way down to the 75-77 zone, at that stage we're going to start visiting the idea that in fact this index has actually put in a significant top. But it's a little too early to make that call here, because if the support level here holds here, we would at minimum be looking for a return back up to the 95-100. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Home Builders Index, which is the symbol RUF. And last week we drew in a retracement box around that 7.5 level. And said that would be a very natural place for the home builders to hold support and bounce off that level. When we got that last week, and in fact we started to rally off that level, we're now going to put a new focal point in here at the 7.25 750 area. And realistically, there has been a lot of technical weakness and distribution going in these home builder stocks, but really at this stage, this could be a flagging formation for us to return back up to the upside. If in fact the 725, 750 support holds, we can see a break of this trend line on the upside, which may have us at minimum returning back up to the 9.25 level on the upside. So we're about to get some very important information here as to whether or not there may be a little bit of follow through back on the upside. If in fact this rally fails somewhere in this $8 area with absolutely no follow through on the upside and reverses back down, that would be a very bearish scenario that would have us revisit the idea that the home builders have to go through one more significant sell cycle in the upcoming months. And so the next few weeks will be important to tell us how this plays out. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Natural Gas Index, which is a symbol FUM. And more or less, the last 2 weeks saw some very dramatic selling, which has now come to our slightly adjusted 75, 78 focal point down below. We've now seen some reversal candles with a little bit of retracing coming back. This is a critical moment in the natural gas index because the support level, at least initial low, is in there. But if there's no significant follow through on the upside, if it rolls back down, it really opens the window for much deeper selling in the upcoming weeks. And really, what we need to see is some sort of follow through on the upside to just confirm that this bottom that was put in just a few days ago is one that's worth holding. And so it'll be very critical to watch the upcoming few days into next week. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, which is the symbol UKX. And more or less, the selling in the last week has more or less been contained into that 420, 430 area. This is an important and critical level because if the support levels do hold in here, we are anticipating there to be some sort of a snapback rally that can go even to the top end of the range. Any break below 420 on the downside opens the window for this to be a much deeper consolidation, which could see us testing as low as the 400 level in the upcoming weeks. So it's critical that this 420 level holds, which will maintain a range-bound market back up to the 450 area. That was your ISE Equity Index Outlook. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.